Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dead Dog Film Club. Dead Dog Film Club is a podcast about the world of international cinema, and just by being here today, you are part of the club. I'm your host, Sébastien, and I'm joined by a very special guest. It's Emily from the Nottingham Horror Collective. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm very well. I'm very busy, but very well.
I'm
Thank
very
you.
excited to have you on. I was so happy when you said, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. That's awesome. So thank you.
It's typical like small business behavior. I'm like, got 1,000 things to do. And then someone's like, do you want to go on a podcast? I'm like, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. So today we're going to be talking, well, actually, Emily, you're one of the co-founders of and editorial directors of the Nottingham Horror Collective, who produce fantastic zines. Zines or zines, actually? I keep getting it wrong.
Zines.
Zines.
Say magazine.
Magazine, so
and
it's
then,
a zine.
And then drop the maga.
Perfect.
Always
I'm
drop
used
the
to
maga.
That. And very soon you're going to be doing a whole book, which is also very exciting.
Yes, we're going big. We're going to do a book on beauty horror, which I guess the topic of today's discussion.
Oh my God, it's perfect. Because today we're going to be talking about the Ugly Stepsister, which is a brutal, dark horror comedic twist on Cinderella. But before we do that, I want to hear about your most recent watches, actually. Go for it, Emily. Have you seen anything recently? What's been on your watch list? Tell me everything.
So I recently, since the last time I spoke to you, I recently rewatched Red Rooms, the 2023. Have you seen it?
I have. Canadian. What a great movie.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know why I chose to rewatch it, because I was like, the first time I was like, okay, I get it. I was really heavy. I probably won't watch this again. But for some reason, I decided to put it on again.
How was it on a rewatch? What did you think?
Yeah, the first time I watched it was like 2024, I think. It kind of ruined my week a little bit, but I also haven't been able to stop thinking about it, you know? It's definitely one of those where it doesn't need gore it alludes to all of that, but it's so creepy.
Yeah,
it's just so creepy.
So I believe the story is about a woman who kind of it's about the movement of women who become infatuated with serial killers, and they go to their murder trials and stuff like that, right? And so we follow a woman who's going through that process.
Yeah, the is Kellyanne. That's the protagonist. She's like this hyper controlled, like eerily calm woman who becomes obsessed with that trial. So it's a trial of a alleged serial killer, I think, like known as the Demon of Rosemont. And she's got this like quiet intensity that, you know, have you ever met someone where you look at them and it makes like the hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
Yeah,
I don't know. You just get that vibe. Yeah, like she's amazing. Like
she's definitely great with the intensity. I remember that the courtroom scenes, her getting ready for the courtroom scenes. I remember also she being very adept at tech for some reason. I might remember that wrong, but
so I think it's like trying to get all this. She's very clinical, right? It's almost like a American Psycho vibe. She has all of her things, right? So she's got her crypto wallets, and she stays in hotel rooms, and she's like gambling online, and she's always at a computer on the dark web. I think it also feels a little bit like, have you seen We're All Going to the World's Fair?
No, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. And that's also kind of like about internet culture and spectatorship, which I think is very much this, right?
Yeah.
I think her closest like companion is like an AI productivity app. Like there's something wrong.
Surprised. That's where we're going towards. We're all going to have a best AI friend very soon, I believe.
I think like the creepiest thing about it is like, it's all about the sort of the underbelly of the internet. But I wasn't even like surprised, which I think is the horror of it in itself. It's like, oh, of course that happens. But yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. What I do appreciate about it is, you know, it kind of leads you into thinking you're going to see something that you really don't want to see, like with all of the dark web stuff. But it never shows you it. And I think that's really powerful. Like you don't have to show gore and like horrific scenes and like traumatic stuff to still get the same feeling that you get watching that film. Like it's still a creeping dread. Like
a heavy dread.
It's clinical.
It's weight on your shoulders.
What a film. Yeah.
The definition really incredible. Of a hidden gem, I think, for that year. A lot of people were like talking about it towards the end, the back end. I remember that and being like, yeah, let's watch it. And I was blown away. I really enjoyed it. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. It deals with like this tough matter without being exploitative as well. But yeah, it's much more of a thriller, but like, yeah, I guess it fits under that umbrella, that horror umbrella. But yeah.
Have you watched anything else?
Because I watched that, I then had to regulate my nervous system by watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Hell yeah. But which episode and what season?
Okay, so I'm on season 4 at the minute. And season 4 has some absolute bangers. I think it's quite well known. Hush. It's the episode with the gentleman.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about Mike Flanagan's movie, Hush.
No.
Okay.
There's an episode in season 4 called Hush, and it's completely silent. Wow. I think they start, there's dialogue at the beginning, but then these creepy, really wide smile, Victorian looking monsters, like fairy tale monsters, steal people's voices so they can't scream.
Okay.
So the whole episode is silent, like apart from like music and things like that. But yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing episode. It's like probably one of the most talked about. And I posted it on my story actually the other day, when I just watched it. And I had loads of people messaging me like, this still gives me nightmares. It's still as creepy today as it was when I was like a kid watching it. And it's definitely like that.
It's a fan favorite, I think.
It is a fan favorite for sure. I think it just goes to show that even without anyone speaking, it manages to be one of the funniest and the scariest episodes
100%
of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's so clever. I love it.
Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's known for like being actually quite creative with its cinematography, story. I think they're still rough because like my cousin's girlfriend, she's been trying to get me to watch them forever, and I've watched up to season 3. I think we spent like a whole week in Devon like going through them. And I really enjoyed myself. But I remember like the first few seasons, there are some episodes you don't need to watch, some episodes you have to watch. There's a lot of homework, but I do remember it's very endearing and it's very of its time, and it has a huge fan base, right, including yourself.
People love Monster of the Week episodes. Like they're very chill. There's a lot of like humor in it as well. And you know, the creativity, I think you say you stopped at season 3. Season 4 has Hush in it, and it also has Restless, which is like a dream sequence. Is very David Lynch. It's obviously very inspired by like David Lynch, and I love it when sort of these giant TV shows that have like multiple like up to like 22 episodes per season get to just like play and show their inspirations. And Restless is really cool. It's like Buffy does David Lynch basically. It's all of the characters in a dreamscape. It's so funny.
Did you hear they're rebooting it? Is it a reboot? Yeah, it's a continuation, right?
Sarah Michelle Gellar is very much, it's not a reboot, it's not a sequel, it's a continuation, which makes me think that they're maybe going on to the comics that came out after everything. But it's remains to be seen, basically. But I know that she's executive producer, so that feels good, at least.
Yeah, she's involved.
She knows the world. She is Buffy.
There is that.
And I have all the faith in the world in Sarah Michelle Gellar, I think.
Yeah,
there's a lot of skeptical people out there.
Yeah, you would be, because it's something that so many people care about.
Loved.
It's a big thing. Okay.
So that's me.
That's you. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm happy you brought up Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was afraid we'd do a podcast and you wouldn't bring up vampires, so I'm really you front loaded that. That's
great. Never. If I don't mention vampires, you know something's wrong. You'll be like, this isn't Emily. It's an imposter.
I watched on Tuesday. Well, yesterday. God, that was yesterday. Yesterday, I was at the Rambling Cinema event in the city center, which had screened the movie Omen. So Mark from Rambling Cinema, who's our co-host here, he was putting on Omen, which is a 2023, I believe, Senegalese movie from Africa. And it was really interesting, actually. I understand why he decided to pitch that one to us. The story goes that it's a black guy and his white girlfriend, fiance, soon to be wife, and she's pregnant with their twins, and they live happily in France, I believe, or maybe Belgium. And he has to travel back to his family he hasn't seen in a long time. He has to travel back to Africa with her for something called the dowry, where he has to give money. It was to the 5,000 euros basically to his parents. It's like part of like how they function over there, basically. And he goes back. This is the very beginning, so I'm not spoiling anything. He goes back, and basically his family is really deeply entrenched in superstition, and you find out that he was actually like the demon child because he has a blood mark on his face. It's just like a red stain.
Like a birthmark.
Yeah, like a birthmark. Sorry,
Yeah.
It just looks like blood. So there you go. And so they think he was cursed by the devil, and his mother like doesn't really vibe with him at all, and everybody hates him. So, and it's basically, I don't know if it's, I would say, a critique, but it is an insight into a popular theme, which is generational trauma, basically, and how hurt people hurt people. And so it was very interesting. It's got some dream sequences that I wasn't super into, just because when it gets too artsy and I'm not entertained, I don't know. Again, TikTok brained, but it was visually striking. The cinematography was fantastic, but I think the story suffered a bit because of that. But yeah, it's called Omen. I don't know if anybody's watched it, hearing this, but I really recommend it. It's really good.
I'm gonna have to put that on the list.
Yeah,
I love a dream sequence.
I know you do. You're a David Lynch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You love it. So I did that. That was pretty good. And then I watched. So we're doing like the Oscar death race, which is where we watch every movie that is nominated for an Oscar this year. And so
it's ambitious.
There's 55 of them, I believe. And I'm at 72%. So I'm doing okay. Some fantastic
You're
shorts
doing very
in
well.
there. Yeah. Hey, Mark, we're talking about the Oscar death race. Hello.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, my perfect.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Emily. How's it going? Hey.
I'm good.
The perfect segue. Mark has joined us. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm doing good, thank you. Apologies for being late, just putting my daughter down.
No, don't say it that way. She was going to sleep. Yeah.
Fingers crossed she's going to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no worries. Well, it's great to have you, man. We were talking about Omen, actually. We were talking about the movies we've recently watched. And so I explained the themes of Omen, and I was saying how I really enjoyed some of it, and I really enjoyed like the themes of generational trauma. What did you think of Omen? Because you watched it again for the second time, Mark.
I did, and it's funny that generational trauma is such a large part of it, because another film that I watched in Nottingham recently that I really liked was All That's Left of You, as part of Nottingham Palestine Film Festival. And that's a film that's set over 3 generations in Palestine from the 40s through to the present day, and is talking a lot about kind of the systemic stepwise decline in standards and the impact of one generation's trauma upon the next, and what a cyclical degeneration that's forming. So that was nice to have in the back of my head while watching Omen, while also being quite an imperialist film, critical of.
Yeah, Omen has these themes of like colonialism and the impact that it has on the generations that are there, and then the generations after that and after that. And it's not subtle about
in
it.
Omen. No, well, it kind of is. That's what I quite like about Omen, is that all the colonialist stuff is always off to the side. It's always just out of frame. That one of the characters dies in a mining accident, but everybody is constantly referring to it as this superstition, this sorcery that has occurred, rather than like no one's talking about what's happening with the mine or where those resources are going or what the safety practices are. It's about the superstition, and so it's always just kind of shunted off. There's one very brief reference to Nestle, and you go, wait, what was that? And then they just move away. We don't talk about it. It's there, but we move on.
Yeah, it's great. I'll finish my thought. So we were talking about Oscar death race. I was explaining that. I'm becoming you, Mark. And I was just explaining that we had the pleasure of doing the Oscar death race this year, me for the first time, and that I watched what's it called, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which is a documentary which is very good. I recommend it, Emily. If you're into a light and breezy watch about Russia and Ukraine, this is not it. But it's about I'll talk about it briefly, but it's about a school teacher. It's about a school teacher who is in Russia, this very small village that has a school. And he is a school teacher of filmography, videography, I believe. And he's also the videographer for this school. Does music clips for the kids, but he also like records other events, whatever happens in this school. The school is quite broad in terms of age because it's the one school of the city. But this guy is like our age, he's early 30s. Sorry, Emily, 20, 30. Like, I'm not going to guess, but around
Do you
early
think I'm
30s.
in my 20s?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
That's
I don't
really
want to
sweet.
presume.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Nailed it. So around that age, and yeah, he does that. And anyway, the war starts. The war starts. Ukraine versus Russia, and suddenly the whole curriculum is changed, and propaganda is introduced into the school through the curriculum. And he's asked to film it all and upload it to the Russian databases for checking, basically. And it's checking. And it's the death of creativity and the birth of something much more vile into these kids, and you're really trying to change these kids early on. So then, no spoilers, but basically he ends up recording everything, making copies, and then trying to get out of Russia to make this documentary, or to give all his footage to the BBC, I believe, to make this documentary. And yeah, it was nominated for an Oscar this year. It's really insightful. A really interesting documentary. Mark, you've seen this, right?
I have seen that one, yeah. It is, very much as you described, but it drives home that the first victims, and I know it's hard to express this, but the first victims here really are the Russian school kids before anything else, because the soldiers who are involved in Ukraine are obviously doing horrendous things, but all those people were at one point a 9-year-old being fed propaganda, and had very little choice into turning into the kind of adult that they became. Probably had very little choice over joining the army. And as horrendous as what they're doing to the Ukrainian people is, and it is, those people are victims too.
Well said. On that note...
But with Emily here, a fantastic year for horror at the Oscars. You must be very excited for these kinds of nominations to be going out.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were lucky with getting The Substance last year. But yeah, it's all coming up horror. Yeah, it's really exciting.
We got, what, Sinners? Who else are we talking about here?
Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Frankenstein. We've got, obviously, The Ugly Stepsister has been nominated for...
I should know this. I have a lot to talk about, actually, on that one.
But I think, there's we keep a letterbox list of upcoming films every year. So we've got one that's 2026 horror films. And there are so many in there, more than we've seen in a very long time. And I think, it's very symptomatic of the world. There is generally an uptick in horror media, horror films created during, times of strife within the world, especially like political as well. So yeah, I mean, if the one thing that can come out of all of this shit is more horror films for us, I suppose. Yay! Yeah, I think we'll get more next year for sure.
Would you consider something like Begonia to be horror as well? Because that's also sort of feeding off the themes of what's happening to so many people at the moment, and it's kind of right on the line as to whether or not.
It's Ari Aster, right?
No. It's interesting you bring him up, actually, because he sent the I believe the original story to Yorgos Lanthimos,
That's it.
Who then made it? It's a remake, yeah. Have you been able to see Begonia, Emily?
Not yet. No, I keep meaning to. It's on my watch list.
Highly recommend it. I love it.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Yeah, I wish I'd gone to see it at the cinema, but alas.
Me too. I think the great thing about Begonia is it's absolutely a horror movie. We don't have to go too much into it, but and for me, it is the horror of society, pressure, influencers, influencer culture, like the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. So toxic masculinity.
Does it go explicitly into any horror elements? I know there's like or any sci-fi elements or anything like that.
Yes to both.
Right.
Skirting the border of all of those things.
Okay.
I don't know if it's skirting, because I've seen this is pretty gruesome, buddy. Like
yeah, I mean, all horror is political and we say this all the time. It's usually born from real world things that are happening in the real world, just exaggerated or turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
A lot of it is allegory and metaphor. Suppressed emotion, all that good stuff.
All that great stuff.
Yeah,
nice.
That's interesting. I really need to watch that.
Please do, and let us know what you think.
I will.
Okay, cool. So let's jump into The Ugly Stepsister, the movie. So The Ugly Stepsister is written and directed by Emily, I'm going to butcher this, Blichfeld, and it stars Leah Miren as Elvira, Anne Dahel Thorpe as Rebecca, Thea Sophie Look Nice as Agnes, and the movie has done great on the awards circuit, as you mentioned. It has 6 wins, 23 nominations, including makeup and hairstyling, I believe, for the Oscars, which is fantastic. Yeah, there you go. Best achievement. I wrote it down in makeup and hairstyling. You were going to say?
I was going to say best achievement in pronunciation of names for this Herculean effort.
Thank you. I was like, it's Nordic. I'll put a little heh on it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Good effort.
This is the first movie, actually, the first feature-length movie by Emily Blichfeld. There you go. And I've watched a lot of interviews, actually, in preparations for this, on her and her approach to this. I even watched a bit of the DVD commentary of the movie on the second site, Blu-ray, and some really interesting stuff that I'm going to bring up. So the IMDb logline goes, Elvira battles against her gorgeous stepsister in a realm where beauty reigns supreme. She resorts to extreme measures to captivate the prince amid a ruthless competition for physical perfection. So on the podcast, we start with a guess the rating. So we guess the we guess the Rotten Tomatoes rating. So I am going to hope that you haven't seen it in a while at all. And we're going to start. So there's 2 on Rotten Tomatoes. Reviews and the tomato meter, and then there's the verified ratings, which is the popcorn meter, which I believe is just people, right? And then the tomato meter is critics. So when we talk about the critics here, tomato meter, what percentage do we believe? I'll start. You go, Emily. Tell us.
Oh God, don't make me start.
This is great because I get to be the Price is Right. I can just be 1% above or below you.
God, critics.
What do you think?
I would say, I'm literally just going to guess. I mean, I love it loads, and that's like skewing my brain, but this is definitely not a film for everyone, 70 something, 72.
72. And what do you think for people? What do you think the rating is for your average verified rating?
Would it be higher or lower? I'm going to go lower.
You think people like it less than the critics?
No. Okay, I'm going to go 80.
Okay,
83.
72 and 83. Okay, Mark, what are we doing? 73 and 84.
I'm gonna here we go. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to flip it. I reckon critics like this more than audiences. I reckon because you're right. It's definitely not a film for everybody, is it? But I reckon that would come out more in audiences than it would in critics. So I'm going to go I'm going to go for 80 critics, 75 audiences.
Okay, get ready. Critics with 138 reviews, 98%. I'm very surprised, actually. It's a low amount of reviews, to be honest. So there is also that, the 138, but 96%. Yeah, critics actually absolutely love this movie. And then right next, a certified fresh, if that means anything to you. And then for the community, we are at 86%. So the critics liked it more than the people in this example. There you go.
Much higher than either of us were saying. But much higher than either of us were saying.
Much higher, yeah. This did really well.
I think I always, because I don't pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes. I literally watch. I watched a film called Killer Sofa. I don't. I don't pay attention to.
You're the best of us, honestly. Dude.
To Rotten Tomatoes, because there are films that are rated really low and I'm like, that's the best film I've ever seen, I
think that's great.
I just don't know. Yeah.
All right.
Fun.
Nice one. Okay, so where'd you guys see it, actually? Did any of you get to see it in the cinema?
I'm really sad. Boo.
Shudder.
Yeah, Shudder.
Same.
Shudder was me too. I watched it by myself, as I tend to do when I just want to see something immediately, but we actually, I have it. I was going to show you. We actually covered it in the Last Closet on the Left Volume 1.
Look at that.
It was our cover.
Oh my God.
I'll show you the artwork because Ruth's artwork is insane.
Ruth is the best.
It's insane.
So it's the worm.
It's the tapeworm.
It's the tapeworm.
So yeah, we have this whole article. If someone had submitted, so quite often what happens is someone will submit like an idea for an essay. And if it's a film that I've not seen, I'm like, nope, don't read the essay. Gotta watch the film first. So that's what I did. And then I told you to watch it, didn't I?
You did, and I did. And here we are doing a podcast about it.
And here we are. So yeah, what a wild ride.
Right. Shout out to Shudder while we're here for hosting this kind of stuff. What a phenomenal service to have these kinds of foreign... I found a film on there a while back called, The Devil's Bath, was it called?
Yes! Yes!
Central European, phenomenal film. The kind of thing I never would have found in any other service other than Shudder.
I don't know what the name
I love Shudder.
Yeah, the Devil's Bath is a great movie. But like the Devil's Shower, the Devil's, I don't know, towels.
The Devil's Shower sounds kind of kinky to me. I don't know.
Yeah. The Devil's Bidet.
It sounds like a Killer Sofa vibe.
It does.
The Devil's Bidet. I'd watch it. I don't care about the Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Which is good.
Get stuck in.
All right, let's talk about the movies. Let's just go for it. So I'll get us started. I really like the movie. It's interesting because when I watched it, I had no idea about the Cinderella twist. Actually, I had the pleasure of putting those pieces of the puzzle together myself as the movie went along. And then I didn't know that was Cinderella. I didn't know she. I knew there was an ugly stepsister,
cool.
but I was like, oh, this blonde lady's really pretty. And then as we started going into like they're going to a dance, and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I know this, and so I really appreciate it. I guess the review for me of the movie is just that I really enjoyed the way it balances humor with horror, which I think is the best way to do horror, is to have these moments of levity, so that when we get to, by the way, spoilers, this is your spoiler warning, but when we get to the tapeworm coming out, when we get to her cutting her toes off, which is really rough, by the way, you're really emotional elevators, basically, in The Ugly Stepsister. I thought the acting was phenomenal, especially from our main characters. I believed it fully. And there's some really gruesome scenes. My favorite, I think, is when she gets her nose broken so that they can put it back together. It's super believable. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, that is how you would do it back in the day. If you were to do that, it would make a lot of sense.
They actually still do that in some cases. If you have like a deviated septum or something, they just break it again.
Oh my God.
Sometimes.
It goes back to what you were saying about all horror sort of stemming from a real world thing. This is 100% just real world stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of grounded in believability, isn't it? Yeah. Realism.
Well, I think it hits quite hard, like all the women that in my life that have watched it. In terms of like beauty standards and all of that, it definitely hits quite hard, like for all of that, for sure. I essentially loved it because it was body horror. I kind of knew that it was going to be body horror, but I didn't know. I wasn't expecting the tapeworm. I was gagging, like gagging completely
when it came out, or when because there is that scene where she decides to eat it, and you're like, "Don't do it," and she does. That was tough.
So that's gag worthy, but it's when it is her sister Alma forces her to eat the antidote, and then she's like pulling this tapeworm that is absolutely gigantic out of her mouth. Yeah, that was really interesting. And in this essay that we have on it by Meg Michalk, they wrote about the relationship between Elvira and her mother, and how like the tapeworm is almost like an umbilical cord, and then they cut it. It's kind of symbolic in like trying to get her away from her mother's grasp, because obviously it's her mum that's pushing all of this on her, right? I just thought that was really interesting. And yeah, when I read that, I was just like, oh my God, yeah, there is like an umbilical cord element to it. Yeah, really interesting.
What about you, Mark?
Well, it's the second sort of film or piece of literature that I have really connected with that uses tapeworms so heavily, because I'm a huge fan of Filth, if anybody's seen Filth, which is partially fantastic book, fantastic film. It's by the writer of Trainspotting, and the book is partially narrated by the main character's tapeworm, and from time to time the page will just get sort of taken up by his bowels, and then the tapeworm will start talking. They'll use brackets to sort of form a bowel inside of the body of text, and then the tapeworm will start narrating it. Crazy stuff. Ooh. But that's a fantastic sort of element in that film.
I actually think I would love that. It kind of ties. I think I was speaking to Seb about before. I read a book called Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt, and that's very like squelchy, horrible, grossness. Yeah, love that stuff. Don't know what it says about me, but I love it.
We're all slightly messed up watching these crazy horror films and disgusting body horrors.
Yeah, it's the abject, isn't it?
Go for it.
I'm almost disappointed that this film is called The Ugly Stepsister, because that was the thing that twigged for me that it was Cinderella long before the plot did. Was sort of coming in from the title, and like you say, it just builds throughout the film that you're heading into that kind of narrative direction, and the fact that the IMDb logline that you just read doesn't even use the word Cinderella, it just kind of leaves it. It would be lovely to see this with like no idea going in.
Yeah,
I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, and I think women doing horror is like the best thing that's happened in the last 5 to 10 years. It was done before, but
100%.
There's 100%. They know all about body horror. And
I mean, these women are calling all of it out directly. Like there's no subtlety. Like and I love it. Like if you think of like Coralie Fage as a substance, like she's, some critics call it heavy-handed, but she's literally beating you over the head with it, right? Subtlety's had its day when it comes to this stuff. And I've got to agree, like, when we live in a culture that asks women to sort of alter, shrink, smooth, starve ourselves, inject, slice ourselves up, the industry, the world has protected like predators in plain sight for decades. And these women are making films that are just like, this is how it feels. This is literally how it feels to be, to be succumbed to these like beauty standards, trying to like carve yourself up. There's a beautiful quote from Meg's essay that's, when the glass slipper doesn't fit, you're told to cut yourself down until it does. And I just think, that's it really, isn't it? And it's obviously a very extreme way to like, it's a cathartic way to express all of this frustration and anger. I think, we just love to see it, and I think we're only going to get more and more of this. With how angry people are.
Cathartic anger. One of the films this reminded me of, but in a very different direction, was Death Becomes Her from the 90s, for just like having that sort of like, Death Becomes Her is such a deeply mean-spirited film in a way that gives it quite a lot of character with the way that it does that. But Death Becomes Her is quite mean-spirited towards the women within the film who are choosing to improve their bodies in other ways, whereas something like The Substance or The Ugly Stepsister definitely is not, and that probably is a gender behind the camera or gender sort of in the screenplay that just sort of has a completely different take on this subject matter to Robert Zemeckis in the 90s would have ever done.
It's the female gaze. It's the same. I mean, Coralie Fage also has Revenge, which is in itself a rape revenge film. All other rape revenge films are directed by men. And it is so different. Like, it is so different. I think it's really important that we have women filmmakers, women non-binary filmmakers creating art. And I just hope we get more of it, basically.
I think we will.
A lot of this is about things that women know in their bones, it's stuff that we've been fed our entire lives. It's all bursting at the seams now with body horror and gore. And it's like, yes.
I think The Substance kicked off something, because I've seen some series coming up, The Perfect or something like someone talked to me about it recently.
Does
that ring a bell?
Oh my God, what's it called? The Beauty.
Right, there's The Beauty, and then there's a lot of short films also coming in festivals that follow a sort of substancy vibe of like, you take this and you're not fat anymore. And I think it's only reinforced with like the revelation to the world that Ozempic is at the moment, as contentious as it is. But that is also going to influence our movies for a lot to come.
It already is. Natalie Erica James, who did Relic. Did you watch Relic? What a film. She's bringing out Saccharine, which is the story follows a medical student who's succumbed to this obscure weight loss craze and finds herself haunted by what she's consumed, which is very Ozempic. Like, that's not subtle, you know? The weight loss craze is human ashes, apparently. So that's the premise of the film. But that's
kind of
like,
cool, actually.
Yeah, so she's a medical student eating human ashes to try and get like thin or whatever. And yeah, she gets haunted by. But yeah, that there's no subtlety in that. Again, like, no subtext. Like, it's basically like we're being hit over the head with it. But it's you know, it's got to be done. Subtlety's had its day.
So I just
there's a moment in this that sorry, go on.
No, go for it. No, okay. I just wanted to bring up the Ugly Stepsister, which is a movie we were talking about, to talk about like the fact that I just want to say that the performances of Leah Myron and Thea Sophie Locknice and Flo Fadgerly, sorry, I'll say all their names now, but they're all really, really good. And I think it's the linchpin also to like what makes the movie work. Leah Myron, especially as Elvira, she really sells like comedy. And also, you believe it when she goes through all these horrible things that she does to herself, which is very telling of what the movie's trying to communicate to us. There's also a lot of sexual stuff in it, if I'm honest. There's a lot of like imagery, the beast, the horses. I'll talk about this scene. So there's this scene where we have Agnes is about to basically have sweet love with the horse boy in the place where they keep the horses. There you go.
And the stable?
The stable. That's the word for it. And they have this moment of like Elvira slowly she hears noises and she slowly creeps towards the stable, and she sees we all see the behind of Agnes. Now that is not Thea Sophie Locknice's behind. The director actually mentions this in the director's commentary, and I thought that was a really interesting little tidbit about the movie. So Emily, I'll call her Emily, the director, she was like not obsessed, but she was clear that the behind that she was looking for had to have hair. So Emily herself has a long history of really struggling with body image. As she says herself, she's very tall, she's got very big feet, and she's always tried to kind of fit into this mold of society. This is what society tells her to fit in. And it's only recently, as she became an adult and a bit further in her 20s, that she's completely accepted hair. Hair was a big thing for her, and she stopped shaving, and she's found someone who loves her the way she is, which is really good news, if I'm honest. But she wanted to put in this movie the idea that like hair is natural, it's a natural thing, and so in this shot, it had to have hair, and it's also really well lit, and it's very sexy in my opinion, and that was very interesting to me, and I think that echoes throughout the movie, this idea of like accepting yourself and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, if you're an adult, you've got hair. No?
That's true.
Yeah. There's also something that's really interesting in that scene is Elvira's reaction to that, right? She's disgusted. Yeah. She's disgusted by the sex.
I think she was interested, actually. I think she was like, it makes me feel a certain way, and I don't like that.
Oh, maybe it's that. But yeah, it's really interesting. A lot of people read her as like queer, that she's not actually wanting the prince. A lot of her fantasies are around being beautiful and being like Alma. Not Alma. Oh my God. The Cinderella one.
Oh yeah, Agnes.
Being like Agnes. And I think a lot of queer people are seeing it as like, do I want to be her, or do I want to be with her, kind of thing. And a lot of the fantasies are focused on this beautiful person. That is Agnes. And so the disgust at the heterosexual sex within the horse house,
the place where they keep the horses,
the stables, the horse house. People are reading it in that way, which I think is really interesting. And also, everyone brings their own stuff to art as well. So I think that's just a really interesting point to bring up.
It's a scene that really reminded me of this French film called The Beast from the 70s or something.
No.
A while back before then. It's kind of crazy and low budget, but like bestiality is something that runs through it, where there are shots in it where it's unclear if the people engaging in the sex are human or animal. And there's there's a moment at the start of that shot in the horse house where you can see something sexual happening. And just for a moment I was going, I don't know is that human? I'm not quite certain. Like just sort of like shot from far enough back and with enough low lighting that it was implied to be something, or I found it implied to be unclear what was happening in there, and that kind of feeds into her sort of horror when she sees what's happening, that it's perfectly natural, but like she's seeing it as this unnatural thing.
And there's also these scenes of, obviously she struggled with food, and food was a big thing for Emily. Apparently she wanted a lot of people struggle with food and eating and stuff like that. It's a big deal, and there's comfort in food, and so that's why Elvira also finds a lot of comfort in food. But also, of course, the idea of the tapeworm, which allows you to eat as much as you want. I kind of read that as a bit of an Ozempic dig, although maybe the movie was made a bit before that. But I kind of saw it like that. The idea that you eat all you want, or maybe not be hungry or something.
So it is actually, again, that's a real world thing. You can buy tapeworms. I'm educating you boys tonight. Yeah, you can.
It's good to know.
you can buy tapeworms. I've known people that have had parasites and wanted to keep them because look how much weight I've lost. It is a real thing as well. So yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrendous. But sorry, I've just silenced the room.
You can buy tapeworms. Awesome. Well, Elvira,
I do not recommend that you buy tapeworms, by the way, guys. If
Emily
anyone's listening,
promoting buying tapeworms.
No, please do not do that.
You have a business of selling tapeworms.
And here comes the advertising segment.
Sponsored by tapeworms.com.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's also the mother in there, and Emily mentioned that she said that, well, the mother is also kind of suffering from the situation that she's put in as a woman, where she's, I believe, a widow, and so she marries this guy. She doesn't love him, but the money is important, and she needs to survive. And then he dies, and they run out of money, and there's also this pressure around money, and I thought that was definitely done. And I really liked actually the character of the mother, is like the way she was acted and the way she kind of handles it all, because she's doing to Elvira what was done to her. She's like, we can make you perfect. I'm kind of past my prime, although I think she kind of still she has those moments of sexual intercourse with like younger men and stuff like that. But she pushes Elvira to have this cosmetic surgery to get the money, to get the prince. It's all interlinked.
So for all women in the film is to get married. It's the only answer for all of them.
The thing is, her mother sort of represents the kind of like a best case scenario for her, right? And it's bleak. And I know she's kind of, she teeters, she's like a villain, right, in this, but I do also find her she's quite, pitiful, obviously, because, she's just trying to, like you said, Seb, it's repeated trauma essentially, and she's trying to make things better. And this is the only way she knows how, because that's how she's been brought up. You marry a rich guy, and then you're fine. And, your one job is to be pretty and capture the heart of some prince.
There's this scene.
It's sad.
It is sad. There's this scene at the beginning where Elvira kind of meets the prince for the first time in the forest, and he's an absolute dick. of course he's horrible, but I thought that was interesting. Like, it obviously kind of challenges her perspective, but yet she pushes through that in a way. I don't know if it's because of the pressures of like making money and stuff, but she is hell-bent on making sure she is the one that's accepted basically by the prince.
Yeah, it's probably the pressures as well. But I mean, we've all fallen in love with a Baron-esque dickhead poet at one point in our lives. You know,
Sure.
Is the OG fuckboy. Like,
I mean, we're kind of talking about all this from from Elvira's perspective, but from Agnes's perspective, this whole Cinderella story is reframed as being this terrible tragedy for her, that she has someone that she loves in the stable boy, but by the end of it, there's that amazing shot of her like kissing the prince, and the camera pans up like it's a happy ending, and you're like, well, the prince is a dick and she doesn't love him, so how is this a happy ending?
Yeah, I don't think there is a happy end. The only happy ending is Elvira riding off into the sun. Is it into the sunset? I don't know. Riding off with her sister, right?
Well, Alma who becomes
is the becomes the White Knight. Alma is the White Knight. Yeah, really cool.
I do love Alma. She's quiet and she loves horses and she doesn't have any time for boys. And I feel like she is saved by the fact that her mother is so focused on Elvira. And so Alma is kind of pushed to the side to be able to do a bit whatever she wants. And she sees the terrible things that is happening to her sister. And it's only at the end that she says, okay, enough is enough, basically. Because she tells her, don't eat that. What are you doing with a tapeworm? Like, you know, she doesn't feel the same pressures. But she's great.
And she's the one that cuts the tapeworm, the umbilical cord. She's the one that frees her, basically. I thought it was really interesting that obviously she's more of like a tomboy or you know, dresses a little bit more masculine as well. Absolutely. And doesn't really like care about the beauty standards, thinks it's all like a bit weird and is like, not for me, thanks. And I think that's really interesting. It's cool. Kind of more of like a gender fluid kind of character as well.
Sure. The director, Emily, said that they wanted the prince to be Justin Bieber and for Elvira to be a big Bieber follower, basically. They wanted to kind of emulate that kind of...
Right, okay.
You know, the blind abandon that these Bieber fever girls had for that character without knowing him or his personality or whatever.
Yeah.
A bit like the Beatles, I guess.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's what they kind of emulate. That's what they wanted him to be like. I think they've achieved that pretty well. You definitely reminded me a bit of a Bieber fever moment. And you're right that for Agnes, this is a terrible situation because her dad dies like immediately. Like, he dies and she's like, I am left with these weirdos who are spending my money. You were not here last week. And so when she looks for a bit of, I guess, just a bit of personal touch with the stable boy, she gets punished for that too, because the mother, Rebecca, says, Bluche says the words, what kind of virgin sleeps with the stable boy, something like that, and she throws her on the floor. She has no reprieve. And she suffers a lot during the entire movie because of that.
The scene that I found really funny from her angle was when we move into the Cinderella element of the plot. And instead of the world in which, you know, Cinderella's visited by the fairy godmother and the fairy godmother gives her a dress and sends her to the ball, in this version of events, the fairy godmother is her mother, and the person who fixes her dress is her dad's rotting corpse fixing the dress via one. So even in death, her parents are like, go get married. The important thing for you to do right now is to go get married.
Yeah, good point.
Who is it that gives her the tapeworm? Oh, is it the school teacher that gives her the tapeworm?
Ooh, do you mean the dance teacher?
Yeah, dance teacher.
It's either that or it might be a gypsy or something. I think it might have been... I can't remember. Or was it the horrible plastic surgeon who was also hilarious with his French accent? I can't remember. But one of them. I love the plastic surgery scenes. I just love them because you go, oh no, and then it just goes, oh no. And that's where she gets her mask. And again, because they break her nose and she's screaming. And it's so funny and also horrific. And I think they go for another one. They break it like again right away. Just to make sure it's broken. And Jesus, it's kind of it's it's a message about the beauty standards of women, and like you say, if the shoe doesn't fit, you cut the pieces. So
yeah, I think there's also a really have you ever seen Whatever Happens to Baby Jane?
Yes.
Like an element of like not being aware of how you really look like on the outside as well, like you know, like dolling yourself up loads, and you know, it's that element of like well, it's hope, isn't it? It's like hope that you're now able to pass as something that is beautiful or considered beautiful within the society that you're in, which is also like tragic as well. Because I think it's important to note, like Agnes is seen as this like natural beauty, right? So it's the juxtaposition between that as well. Like it's like seeing Agnes with her like effortless, like gorgeous hair and everything. She's perfect. She's absolutely perfect. I mean, you mentioned at the start when you put on the film and you were like, oh, this pretty blonde lady, you know, like it's very like, it's very that. And then obviously Elvira is having to go through all of these changes to fit this ideal. And it's just, it's tragic. It's like,
I think the
even like the result of it is like, you've massively, you know, the giant wig and things.
The
it's
hair
just
falling
like
out, the whole, yeah.
Like
Elvira, when you see her for the first time, and I think it's also to the credit of why they're nominated for the Oscars, is Elvira, her character is full. She has braces, I think, which I thought, who has braces in medieval times? But okay, never mind. But yeah, she's all kind of made up, but she's. I guess you could say she's ugly, but I think what really nails it is the performance, because she's awkward also, and she's got these big eyes that she uses a lot, and she's just kind of all the time like doesn't know where to put herself, and that really sold me on the character.
Sorry, Gomez has joined the chat.
Hello.
Hi, Gomez.
So
the thing that is kind of obscured through all that is that the thing that she's shown spending most of her time on is her dance, and she's clearly one of the better students in that class, and it's only through beauty that she's allowed to progress. Like her skill is almost irrelevant compared to the aesthetic.
They mentioned that the mother paid the dance teacher to get her through, which was heartbreaking, because she's like,
because she's actually good at dancing, right?
I know. It's just unfair. It really is unfair.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Poor thing. But in the end, she does get the love she deserves, like the unconditional love from her sister, and that's women helping women. It's the important part here.
Exactly.
And supporting each other. Which is really good. Did you guys know that The Ugly Stepsister has a post-credit scene?
No, I missed that.
No.
It does. I was just looking at IMDb earlier on, and it says post-credit scene. Yes. I was like, what? So
have you seen it?
I have. So I booted the film up before the podcast to have a look. It's very small. So it's very much at the very, very end. So sometimes the end credit scene is like there's a pre-credits and then there's full credits, and they do it between those. Not this time. Yeah. It's at the very, very, very end. And it's 15 seconds, and it's basically a shot of the father on the table, dead, but he's become skeletons. He's skeletoned, basically, and there's all this, I believe there's insects over him, like beautiful insects. It's kind of pretty. And I don't know what she was trying to say with that. Maybe they just had that extra shot and then like put it at the end. But yeah, it's I didn't know they had one. Yeah. Pretty cute.
I am literally just now realizing that at no point did they ever bury him. No. I know that that's like a major thing throughout, but at some point I kind of forgot that he's just still rotting in the basement.
Right? Yeah, it was.
They can't afford to bury him.
It's too expensive.
They could, but Elvira needed to get married first.
Oh yes. Yeah. Priorities, guys.
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
I think I love these scenes at the ball also. The ball scenes are really interesting. I mean, the venue itself is just like whatever. It's not like I was expecting maybe something a bit more grandiose, but the venue is whatever. But what I thought was great was the impending doom that she has a stomachache during the whole thing. And you know why she gets a stomachache. And she is struggling through meeting everybody. And you've got all these awful, disgusting men and these boys also who are just interested in banging these like poor girls. I think I think, you know, the director here put a bit of her experience in how she viewed these kind of situations in those scenes.
It's amazing that all of the women have to go through all of this effort and these horrendous surgeries and tapeworms and makeup, and all the men just show up in identical suits. It's the same. That's fine. They're wearing a tux. They're doing fine.
Yeah, and the prince is also not a good guy. Like, he's just not, and I think that's the point also, right? He's just not nice.
Yeah, it's the it's idolizing, as you said, is very Justin Bieber idolizing someone that you don't know.
I'd be very interested to see what Emily does in the future, as like all, you know, I love the first Omen also. I'm very excited for her new movie, whatever she does next. In the same example, I think Emily will be very interesting to see what she does next, because in her interviews, she mentions that like body dysmorphia, body horror, and all these subjects together, that's kind of her bread and butter. That's why she wanted to do filmmaking. She felt these things. She lived through these things. She wanted to talk and write stories about these things. I wonder what the next thing is going to be. Is she going to move away from that, or is she going to make another one of these? You know, it's still kind of crazy that your first feature film would be nominated for an Oscar in any category. But we'll see what she does next.
It's incredible. It's so cool. I think the tide's turning a bit.
I think it's one of my favorite individual nominations at the Oscars this year, to have taken a film like this and to give it best hair and makeup as a nomination. It's such a fantastic pick, and that work is so well recognized in this space.
Yeah.
On the mention of the ball scene, by the way, just a quick thing that has been bugging me ever since I watched it. There is a shot in that ball scene with Elvira and her mum. And they start like making doggy noises to each other and sort of acting like pups very briefly.
Yes.
Was that a Showgirls Doggy Chow reference? Is that what they were doing?
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah, I think so.
So also, you know, we were saying it's quite modern day, even though it's like a period piece. It's not like there's modern day music. It's very Charlie XCX like vibe of music, right? It's I think it really works. But yeah, I think pairing it with like Wuthering Heights would be
such
actually
a good thing.
I was thinking about Wuthering Heights when we were talking about Class and the
Yeah.
Stable Boy, and
yeah, in a way, it's a better Wuthering Heights. But I think well, in the theme, you know, but you know, in a way, I could also see this happening in the same county, just like the castle next door, you know, and it's a completely different kind of vibe, obviously, but it does in the costumes and all that. I think those directors should get together actually and maybe do some horror with the visuals of Wuthering Heights and the costumes of Wuthering Heights. I think that would be fantastic. And to go back to the show dog thing, I think it was just to reflect the idea that the mother has inflicted all these things on her daughter, and now she's parading her Frankenstein to these suitors, and by doing that, she's trying to secure her future. And it's you have to, you know, you understand, because it's do or die. It's food on the table. You know what I mean? It's just horrible the way you get there. Yeah.
It's interesting to frame the mother as a villain when there's a world in which she really isn't. She's doing her best with the situation that she's in.
Yeah, you can't bury the dad. Sorry. Like, I know you want to, but we might, if we do that, we'll just be out of money completely. What would happen if
it's desperation, isn't it? It's not malice.
No. What do you think Elvira looks like today? Like, what's the future of Elvira here? Where did she end up, you think? Did she end up happily ever after, living in a cottage with her sister? Because she ends up really banged up. She's got both feet. I'm just reminded that she cuts the wrong foot. Oh my God. That was perfect writing. I love that.
Yeah. I like to think that they're like they're in the woods, dancing around in the wilderness, living off the land,
making potions,
happy, not looking in the mirror, not being concerned with
looks
anyone else,
or princes.
Yeah, or princes. Yeah,
free from societal expectations.
That would be cool.
I mean, me and my friends talk about it all the time. We'd love to just have a commune somewhere, be little witches in the woods. Yeah,
that's coming back. Like communes, I've seen a lot of those. So just inject your witchiness in there, and you've got a modern day. You know,
become crones together.
Yeah, there's an Airbnb at the end of the patch of land, and you rent that out, and there you go, the true experience.
Exactly.
So let's go to favorite character. So best performance, or just your favorite character. Who's your favorite character in the movie? Start with you, Emily.
It was good. Well, Elvira for sure, because like that performance is incredible. So like tragic and funny and yeah, just really like relatable as well. I mean, I too have sat in front of a mirror and gone, you know. But I did love Alma too. I loved Alma. Just like the voice of reason within the film.
Yeah, you need one of those.
Very level-headed, very just like this is weird. I want none of this kind of thing. Yeah, I liked Alma. What about you, Matt?
I'll take the mother. I think she's misunderstood. It's really nice, like you were saying, it's the desperation of her position that is driving a lot of her actions. And as cruel as they might seem, they're coming from a place of love. And so it's the situation that is framed around them that's forcing that behavior. I think that was really well expressed.
I believe in an interview. Well, I was actually just when it comes to the mother, like Anne Dahl Torp. Plays Rebecca. She, I could be completely wrong here, but I believe in an interview, like they were talking about like their inspirations for the movie and stuff, and I thought it was so interesting because Rebecca is the oldest part of the crew, of the girls, basically, of the women, and she comes at it with the expectation of someone who grew up in the 80s and 90s through all of this, you know what I mean? And so I think that is a very interesting point of view, because all the younger actresses obviously discovered, you know, feminism and modern feminism and stuff like that, and it's different. So yeah, I guess the mother, she's fantastic. Elvira, of course, she's fantastic. Give it up for Agnes. She's just effortlessly beautiful, and she suffers. She's great. I think she's poor thing. Lost her dad. Lots of weirdos in the house.
I think
your takeaway from this film cannot be the most beautiful character. The physical beauty of the character cannot be it.
You've picked the other one.
Seb, you've completely... The point has just gone straight over your head.
I would marry her, okay? Like I would bring bountiful food to the table.
Oh my God. But I think... But I love the, you know, what you were saying. These are women of their circumstance, right? It's, you know, it's not... there's so much nuance there that needs to be, you know, addressed. And good, bad. We are victims of our circumstance.
I think I'll pick the horse in the stable who had to watch all this happening. And he was just like, "Where are my oats? This is not where my oats are. don't look in there." It was really good. That was great. So that was my best performance. Behind the scenes, I mean, did any departments knock it out of the park for you that potentially, you know, we don't get a shout out usually? Start with you, Mark, this time.
I mean, it has to be hair and makeup. It's just such a phenomenal piece of work to keep it all looking so of a piece, to keep it so coherent, when some of it is sort of really over the top and some of it is really understated, and the makeup which is diegetic and the makeup which is obviously being used for the crazy body horror stuff. It's fantastic work, and I love that nomination. Shout out again to Best Hair and Makeup at the Oscars for having two unique nominations, both of which are foreign language, three unique nominations, but two of which are foreign language, for bringing things like Cocoa and Ugly Stepsister into the Oscars. Love it.
Emily?
Yeah, obviously I was going to say the same, but I also do think the like cinematography and lighting, I think that it really encapsulates you in that time. Like there's a lot of like dust motes and, you know, natural lighting, lots of candles and things like that. That's hard to do. Right? I think
some of the visuals reminded me of Nosferatu, and it's kind of like the forest and the darkness and stuff. We're not far
and the
from
witch.
it.
I mean, very Robert Eggers, because he loves using just candlelight to his own detriment sometimes. I watched an interview with him where he's like watching The Witch back, and he's like, "Oh, this is too dark. Like I hate this shot, blah blah blah." But he's so he wanted it to be all natural lighting, which is crazy. Like some of the work that he does is just pure like candlelight.
That is crazy,
which is really interesting. But he's so dedicated to having that feel of being of its time.
I kind of want him to focus. So now that I've seen these movies, kind of, like The Ugly Stepsister, I kind of want to dig more into Robert Eggers, like the masculine issues that men might have, and you make the equivalent. Like I know Nosferatu was it was very much like what was written on paper. Like let's get weird.
Have you not seen The Lighthouse?
He has. I know. You're right. Yeah, he has. Yeah. The semen through the grate.
He's done it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
He's done it.
You're right.
I fucking love The Lighthouse.
I made the big mistake of showing people who like watch movies once a year, which is fine, by the way, but just like they're not super into movies. And I was like, oh, I've got this great movie, The Lighthouse. This was when I was starting to like watch movies seriously. And I made them sit through it, and they looked at me at the end and were like, that was awful. And I was like, it was amazing.
Oh, no.
Did you see The Mermaid? I mean, come on. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was very good. Yeah. Team up.
Yeah, it's a very Marmite, that film, but yeah, I love it.
I mean, I think Robert Pattinson, it's just perfect. Anyway, yeah, we could talk about that forever.
So good. Let's do another podcast on Robert Eggers stuff, because I will actually get Ruth on that one, because Ruth will love that.
Good.
I get to be the dissenting voice who isn't fully invested in the Robert Eggers love, so that's good. So I can.
You know what? We need all perspectives here.
even
the wrong ones. That's
even the wrong ones. Yeah.
My hot take is that The Northman is his best movie. I love The Northman.
Oh,
that is a hot take.
Disagree.
It's my favorite.
Hard disagree.
It's so good.
But I appreciate your wrong opinion.
I think it's just the masculine like testosterone of it all. Love it. All right. Enough about Eggers. If you like this, watch this. Do you guys have any recommendations for people who've watched The Ugly Stepsister and what they should watch next? Emily,
I have loads.
Oh, you got loads. All right, let's hear them. If I've watched The Ugly Stepsister, what am I watching next?
Okay, so if you're into transformation as trauma, grotesque labor of staying desirable, obviously it's the substance. Glossy, vicious, not subtle at all in the best way. But the original sort of Perfection Will Destroy You spiral, Black Swan by Darren Aronofsky.
Good pick, yeah.
Yeah, big parallels here. It's more psychological first, but it tips into that body horror.
Absolutely.
In ways that make you wince. There's also The Neon Demon, if any of you have seen that, which is like a high fashion fairy tale nightmare. Less squirmy than The Ugly Stepsister, but just as obsessed with beauty as currency. It's this cold, stylized, and deeply mean about the modeling industry film. There's also Raw, directed by Julia Ducournau, which is obviously the coming of age flesh and appetite. If you like the tapeworm moment, which I mean, I liked it, but I wouldn't want to watch it again. Yeah. That sort of invasive internal horror, so that will hit a similar nerve, I think, Raw. And then also, I would say I love the original Suspiria, but the more recent one, though it's more like sort of art house ritualistic, but the full body contortion horror element, I think, if we're talking about control and discipline and performance and what women's bodies are being asked to endure in the pursuit of greatness, I think that's a really good pairing as well. So yeah, there's a few there.
Awesome. Thanks, Emily.
It's funny that you say that Neon Demon is less wince-inducing than this, because without giving anything specific away for Neon Demon, the thing that I can never look at is anything involving eyes. And so there's a moment in the Neon Demon that I just... No, can't see that. No, thank you.
Maybe it's me. But yeah.
Cool. Mark, did you have anything to add to that? Yeah, go for it.
The one that, I mean, yeah, I brought it up at the start of it, but because of Emily talking about these people being sort of like pushed by circumstance into decisions and sort of the society around them sort of framing these horrendous decisions, it does make me think quite a lot of The Devil's Bath, with the sort of the framing of the woods as well. For those who haven't seen The Devil's Bath, it opens with a particularly shocking decision being made that doesn't seem to make any sense and invites you to say, like, why would anybody do this? This doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? And then the rest of the film is essentially showing and explaining the extremely real world circumstances that led many, many women to do exactly that. And so that is something that sort of sticks with me through The Ugly Stepsister as well, as sort of like explaining some behavior that from the outside might seem crazy as being extremely real and not exaggerated at all. And then, the other one that really makes me think of is Death Becomes Her, for being such a fantastically mean-spirited, petty film about women's beauty standards.
Absolutely love that film. I've just accepted a submission to the book on that film.
Fantastic.
So yes, we're going to have an essay on it. I'm very excited. But yeah, such a camp, fun time. And Bruce Willis.
Obviously, everybody's like, it's very, very sad for him what he's going through now. But he stopped playing those kinds of roles a long, long time ago, and it's such a shame because he's hilarious in Death Becomes Her.
He's so funny. Yeah.
What guy? Add that to my watch list. All right, cool. I've got two. So the first one I've already mentioned, The First Omen. I think let women direct horror, and just it's going to be amazing. And The First Omen is a great proof of that. The First Omen. Women have to go through hell. Love it. And then kind of like sidelining here. I don't know. Is it maybe too much? Maybe too much of a departure here. Malignant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Malignant.
Wait. Do you have the synopsis on you?
Yeah, I do.
The synopsis won't explain it.
But no, because I can't. I've watched so much that sometimes I get films mixed up.
Okay, so paralyzed by fear from shocking visions, a woman's torment worsens as she discovers her waking dreams are terrifying realities. That says nothing, does it? I don't. You can't.
It's the James Wan film from a couple of years back, and it's worth a look if you've not seen it. Definitely.
Oh my god, it's so fun. But it has a lot of body horror. I really like it. I have the Blu-ray. So Malignant. There you go. That's my recommendation. Go watch it. It's really good. Okay. So what do we think about The Ugly Stepsister? Is it a watch it at the cinema if you can? Is it a rent it? So rent it, or wait for VOD, or is it or a wait for streaming? About the same thing. Which one?
I would love to see it at the cinema. I'm actually like, the more I think about it, I might just like go to Broadway and be like, hey, can you put this back on, please? I really want to see it.
Maybe we could use the lounge.
We'll do a horror collective screening of it, maybe.
Just use the lounge room.
We should talk after this podcast, because that might dovetail with a plan that we have coming up anyway.
Ooh,
oh yeah, in a way. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we will. Secrets.
Very interesting.
Mark, what do you think?
It's coming to a cinema near you in Nottingham. One way or the other, we're going to get it back into the cinemas. So yeah,
great
find
chat.
it.
I would love to talk to the director Emily, because she's poured so much of herself in the movie. So is this movie shelf worthy? Do we buy the Blu-ray? So I'm going to say yes. Obviously, there's a new second site actually, and they've got some really good bonus features. I'm guessing you guys agree. Would you own this? Would you buy this? Will you buy this? Actually, Emily, Mark, would you?
I will.
Oh. Mark, your physical media, you've got a small collection.
Taking shots at the size of my collection, are we? Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh. It's not the size; it's what you do with it. I would love a copy of this. Absolutely. I haven't seen the artwork for the cover. Beyond the shot of the shoe, but I don't know what the second site cover is looking like.
I think it's.
So I'd be curious to see what they take.
Point actually.
It is Elvira. I looked at it. I think it's Elvira on the front.
Yeah. Actually, I do like it when an arrow does kind of something a bit more bespoke. This is Elvira with her little wind thing. Love Elvira. She's a queen. So then we have. Yeah, there you go. That's our outro. We finished. We did it, guys. Well done. We did it.
Hey, that was fun.
That was fun. Absolutely. Okay, well, listen, thank you so much, everybody, for listening. If you're still here with us, thank you. Leave the reviews, share it with your friends. That's the way to help us. Thank you so much, Emily, for spending this hour with us and hanging out and talking about a movie we love. It's really good. Nottingham Horror Collective. People can find you on Instagram, of course.
Yeah, we are just the Nottingham Horror Collective on Instagram. Stalk us.
Absolutely. And again, thank you, Mark. So our next screening is the Dead Dog Film Club. Next screening is The Raid on the 30th of April. Mark, when's your next screening?
April 14th. I've got A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. And then later in April, hopefully over at Bonington for My Father's Shadow. But that is coming up soon.
Whoa! You didn't tell me this.
It happened yesterday.
Okay. We need to talk.
Incredible on A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. What an incredible pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, wants to show an Iranian film for obvious reasons, so it'll be a good film to show.
All right, perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.
Bye.